take you somewhere. You know I care, but it's so cold.
What's good, YouTube? My first YouTube video. Hopefully y'all like, share. Thanks for clicking. And in this video, I'll be just trying to diagnose or figure out what's wrong with my car. Quick little story time. Going down the interstate and just lost power. So you're hearing the knocking sound. So I'm leading towards a spun bearing. So let's get into it. Right now, I'm about to be taking off the hood struts that hold them up. They need to be replaced anyways. Real easy, just take the bolts off the hood, and then got a little clip. I just use a flat point screwdriver and just prime them clips out. Also, don't make the mistake I made. You gotta go ahead and remove the windshield washer fluid hose that run through the hood, the top part of the hood. So make sure you get that all before you try and snag that hood off. Now I got that off, I got more light and room to work with. So I went ahead and started on the passenger air box. I went ahead and take out the map flow sensor, and every sensor or clip I take off, I try my best to leave a mark on there and write that information down, so putting it together will be much more easier. You take the intake off, you got two 10mm bolts at the front of each, so two per box, and then you got two bolts on the next for the sensor. So on the passenger side, the intake is a little bit more harder to get off because you got less room to put your tools and hands down in the space. So the driver's side should be much easier. As you can see, I'm here tugging and fighting, but just a little bit of patience will get off. So the wire on top right here is connected by two little push clips. If you can get a tool or pliers in there, you can go ahead, or you can just go ahead and cut the zip ties, like a zip tie clip. So I went ahead and cut mine because I couldn't get none of my tools in there. It's a little bit harder to take up a lot of time. So this is where I was trying to get that clip that hold the airbox in, so connect to the turbo inlet. I was trying to do this thing with the camera in one hand, but you're gonna have to use two hands and get that clip off. Basically, you got to pry right there, both sides, to get that pin out the hole, and then you can take the clip off at the front as well. Now I'm on the driver's side airbox, and you see that it's much easier and faster to get off. Right now, you see we got a blue marker in my hand. This makes it easier for me to connect everything back when I'm getting ready to put all the engine parts back together. So making a little mark, like using letters or numbers, will make it so much easier and faster for you instead of figuring out and getting all these engine codes. So I already got the oil drained out the engine pan, and now I'll take off the oil filter. It's a little tighter than I thought, so I had to went ahead and got some pliers. I'll be using new filter anyways, and I recommend anytime you take your filter off, just replace it with a new one. I recently got an oil change, maybe 200 miles ago, because I did go on a little road trip when this happened. So you always see that clip later on. And now I got to drain the oil to see if I got metal shavings in the engine. That's one of the signs that it might be a spun bearing. I went ahead and got me another clean pan for the oil in to see if I got any metal that was already settled at the bottom of the pan that I drained the oil in. Right here, I zoomed in a little bit. Hopefully y'all can see better. All those little particles are metal, and that's a clarification that, okay, I either spun some or some is seized or grinded in the engine. So I'll be digging further down in the engine. For the rest of it, please like, share, and subscribe. This is my oil catch can, which I emptied 2 days ago. This wasn't all that much blow by when I emptied a few days ago, and those are metal fragments. Also in the oil catch can. Now I'm taking off the hose that run from the reservoir, so the coolant can run out of the reservoir. I also got a little flat pan or a sharp pan to catch all the coolant. But coolant just gonna go everywhere, so I catch as most of it as I could. Now I disconnected the return line to the coolant reservoir. So to take the coolant reservoirs off, it's 10mm bolts. Another test that I will try and perform is see if I can move the crankshaft and hear any noise if I pull on the pulleys or anything. I don't know why engineers make it so hard for mechanics to work on their vehicle, but it turned this clip inside towards the engine, and it's so hard to get off. You gotta use a pliers and some flat point screwdriver and see if you can turn that clip to the side for you to better get it off. So now I got the cooling reservoirs and the intake box out of the way. Now I can get more room and I have more space to work with. This how much space I done gain. And I put them rags in there to cover the holes from the turbo inlets, so no, it doesn't just fall down in there, or if it start raining, which it did later on, so it called for rain later on in the day, so I had to protect everything and cover every opening that can get water directly down into the engine. I'm going ahead and remove the intercoolers off. I started with the driver's side so I can get the manifold off. But if your hands are big, go ahead, you can go ahead and get a screwdriver, but be careful not to go ahead and use a screwdriver and cut it right through the wires. Just go ahead and put it right at the little push point right there, so you can at least get the pin down so you can slide that clip off. The camera wasn't set at a good angle, so while you see me using the screwdriver right here, I had one hand on the push part of the clip, press down part on the clip, and I used another screwdriver just to ease it off because I ain't had no wiggle room. So the sound you're hearing right now is not me using a hammer or anything to tighten the screwdriver. It's just me using the palm of my hand to take the clip like completely off, slide the clip all the way off. And don't use a hammer because that will basically break the clip. You're gonna have to replace that whole part. Now I'll go ahead and remove that coupling of the intercooler. It's I think 7mm bolt. If you can get a right angle ratchet head in there, or just use regular wrench. So I didn't have a good footage of where all the bolts are on the intercooler, but you got one 10mm bolt right there. Me using a screwdriver to pry on these clips is a risk I take of maybe damaging the wire or something, but it's a much easier process for me, or a better way for me to get to that clip without tearing my hand up. There is two 14mm bolts that is right here that connect to the intercooler bracket. So those are 2 more 14mm bolts, and I got a swivel and an extension with a 10mm socket that I had to use to get this 10mm bolt. So after I got those intercooler out, I went ahead and did some work off camera because the rain was coming down and everything. So I hurried up and did the same side, other side. The other side had the same amount of bolts and everything. It was the same procedure. You also got some wires that you had to disconnect, some hoses that you had to disconnect. The intake manifold, it had 6 bolts, those 4 big, huge holes at the top, and you got one in the back and one in the front. Then you just disconnect some clips and plugs, and then you can pop it right off. There are also 14mm bolts. This is a deeper look down into the cylinders, and those little silver things, shiny things on the side right there, those are metal fragments as well. Then I had to stop and tape everything off and cover the whole car because the rain had came down. So hopefully later on the rain has stopped and I can go ahead and film some more footage. Thank y'all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. For more content, follow me on TikTok and Instagram. They'll be on the screen. And I'll see you next video. Thank you.